And we are back on Middle East Now. I'm Natasha Kirchuk, and thanks for sticking with us. Well, it is a split-screen moment in Palestinian politics, and the contrast could not be sharper. On one side, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas is calling for an unarmed Palestinian state that would live peacefully alongside Israel. He made those comments over the weekend in Ramallah, telling Germany's foreign minister that any future Palestinian leadership must commit to international legitimacy and reject violence. But over in Doha, senior Hamas official Ghazi Hamad was saying the exact opposite, boasting in an Al Jazeera interview that the October 7th massacre is what put Palestinian statehood back on the map. Without our weapons, he said, no one would be looking in our direction. Two radically different visions here. One people, still no unified path forward. And joining us now is Samer Sinijlawi, is a Fatah activist. We are hearing these two completely opposing visions, Samer, from Palestinian leaders. Like you said, like you heard me just say, Abbas calling for a peaceful, unarmed state, and Hamas insisting that only violence ends up bringing results. So which vision do you actually think resonates more with Palestinians today?
Well, I think if you want to punish Hamas, you need to establish a Palestinian state. A Palestinian state is a punishment for Hamas. The Palestinian state is a declaration of defeat to Hamas, especially if this Palestinian state comes to be a non-militarized state, governed by liberal Palestinians, democratic Palestinians, transparent leadership. A Palestinian state that is able to show a coexistent relationship with Israel, a very fruitful working relationship with Israel, where both people will benefit from a lot of horizons, especially when Israel is integrated in the Middle East through normalization process with all the Arab and the Islamic world. So this is the vision that shows that Hamas has been defeated. If Ghazi Hamad thinks that it was the 7th October who brought the word to the attention to the Palestinian cause, he's mistakenly. It is the images that are coming from Gaza every day, the suffer that is happening, the people itself, it's the Palestinian people, those 90% Gazans who are now totally against Hamas. Those are the people who brought the attention to the Palestinian people and the solidarity. The whole world on the 7th of October stood against Hamas. And also we were branded as barbarian because of Hamas. It is the average Palestinians, the kids, the women in the streets who have brought solidarity to the Palestinian people, and all of them are against Hamas. And all of them wish to see Hamas disappear totally from their life. So again, if we want to punish Hamas, it is by a Palestinian state. If you want to punish all those who support Hamas, it is by a Palestinian state, because this Palestinian state will be without Hamas. And this Palestinian state will be able to activate the Al-Tarena option that Ben Gurion took against a certain military Jewish organization when Israel was declared independent. The same model will happen here. A Palestinian Ben Gurion will come and activate the Al-Tarena option against Hamas and say it's one law, one rule. So Hamas is frightened from this development, and they are trying to manipulate us. They are trying to say that we have brought this achievement to the Palestinian people, and this is a clear lie. Nobody can buy these lies. I hope that Palestinian President Abbas moves into his commitment to organize the elections, because this is the first step. When the Palestinian people will go to the voting boxes, to the election boxes, yes, they will vote against Abbas, but they will vote against Hamas, because 90% of the population in Gaza is against Hamas, and 90% of the population in the West Bank against Abbas. There will be a new leadership that is not Abbas, is not Hamas. It is the beginning.
Samer, it's funny that you say that, because, I mean, I have to say many of the Palestinian voices that we speak with say that the majority are against Hamas, especially within the Gaza Strip, where people are obviously suffering greatly as a result of Hamas's actions. But then we see these polls that come out, Palestinian surveys, back in May, that show numbers like 38% of Gazans still support Hamas, and that number is much higher in the West Bank, almost at 60%. 59% was what I read today. Abbas says that he's preparing for these elections, like you just mentioned, but only for parties that accept the PLO's platform and the two-state solution. Do you think that that's really going to be an attempt at political renewal, or whether we're going to end up seeing more people perhaps vote for Hamas? Or is there any challenger that is actually, on the playing field right now who presents an alternative to both options here?
Well, these polls, they don't put the third option. These polls limit the people between Hamas and Abbas. And this is, a matter of choice. Some people, they hate Hamas more, and some people, they hate Abbas more. And they choose maybe those whom they hate less. Okay, but when in real election, in political realm, there will be other forces. There will be new political parties that will be able to introduce a strategy, a vision, a political program that people will start thinking about the details. They will start to choose by their heads and not by their hearts. So these polls are a little bit, subject to the heavy weight of the cocktail of feelings that is now, filling the hearts of the Palestinians. It's sadness, it's pain, it's, they don't trust what's going to happen in the future. They haven't seen a model of leadership in Gaza or in the West Bank that could fulfill their aspirations. So they are in dilemmas. They are lost. Their minds are manipulated. Once there will be election, the new forces will be able to raise up. The new forces will be able to introduce themselves. And then the Palestinians will choose in a better way. I meet lots of Palestinians every day. I meet lots of Israelis every day. And I can claim that I am an expert in Palestinian and Israeli affairs at the same time. Trust me, most of the Israelis, most of the Palestinians would like to see some kind of a coexistence arrangement, some kind of a long-term peace. Would like to see neighborhood, would like to see each other allies. The Israelis are worried about their security and peace, and I cannot say, I do agree with them. They have seen lots of incidents that they lost trust that there is some Palestinians who are ready to be partners into them. And the Palestinians, they have seen a lot of suffer. And also they have doubts that there is an Israeli partner, but there are partners. And the Palestinians and the Israelis are capable. And I think, we are talking now about the Palestinian elections, and I think the Israelis in 2026, they will have their own elections, either as early as January, March, or as it is scheduled in November. We are one elections away from peace. And people on both sides in the coming elections will vote peace, because we have seen what chaos can bring to both of us.
All right. Well, Samad, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. It is, always good to hear a positive voice, a hopeful voice, because I think right now we're just inundated with such negativity and such just devastation on all sides.